Chapter 6. Monday morning, Travis had just put the toast in when Grandpa's morning hack and spit show started. Then came the flick of the lighter and smoke crawling under the bedroom door. "Don't suppose you made me any." Grandpa stepped into the kitchen, a cigarette hanging out the corner of his mouth. Travis shook his head. He spread butter on his toast. "Nope, course not." Grandpa answered himself. He closed the bathroom door behind him and followed up with more gross morning noises. The house was too small, with every door opening onto the kitchen living room area. You could put two of this house or maybe three into their old place. By the time Grandpa came out of the bathroom, Travis was at the sink washing dishes. "Why are you up so early anyway?" "Felt like it." "You've turned into a fair smartass, you know that. You get all your homework done this weekend, smart boy?" Travis shut off the water and turned around. "Since when do you care about my homework?" "Since I quit drinking. You know how many days I got?" "Days of what?" "Days sober, Travis. Do you notice anything besides yourself around here?" Travis opened the front door and let some air in so he wouldn't pass out from secondhand smoke. 30 days today," said Grandpa. 30 days without a drink. Congratulations. When are you going to quit smoking?" Grandpa shifted his cigarette to the left hand and made a pistol out of his right, squinting down the barrel of his fingers at Travis, and shot. Then he blew his fingertip like he thought he was some old-time cowboy and gave a hard grin. "Get out of here," he said, "before you ruin my good day." Travis had over an hour before school started, so he grabbed a donut and turned right instead of left. He walked fast along the gravel shoulder, trying to warm up. The heavy dew had a whisper of frost, and the sun was high enough to light the treetops, but not to put any warmth on the road. He slowed as he got close to the dog's driveway and gave a high, low whistle. The dog came roaring down the driveway, lips snarled and hair spiked up the back of his neck. Travis stood maybe 15 feet away from the drive, turned slightly away from the dog. He broke off a chunk of donut and tossed it between them. The dog ignored it and stood with legs and tail stiff. Row, row, row. But his lip wasn't curled quite as high as last time. "Hi, dog," said Travis. "What's the matter? You don't like day-olds?" He crossed to the other side of the road, keeping up a low, steady stream of chatter. "You want to be more careful jumping out at people like that. You could end up on your butt on the sidewalk." The dog stopped barking, but a growl vibration motored deep in his throat. Travis tossed another chunk to the shoulder on the dog's side of the road. The dog glanced down, then locked his gaze back on Travis. "I'm leaving, see? Didn't even come close to your drive." After a few more steps, he turned to walk backward and caught the dog nosing the donut up off the ground. Travis smiled. Not so tough after all. He was tempted to step into the cornfield, but everything was wet with dew, and he'd be soaked before he got 5 feet in. He followed the same route he'd taken Saturday, circling into town. He came up to the place where Velveeta had knocked him flat. He'd seen her coming out of the building and panicked, hiding behind the hedge, but then she'd turned that way, and he was afraid she'd see him hiding, so he'd stepped out and whomp, smack down. What a complete and total bluefish. No wonder they all made fun of him in Salisbury. If they started in on him here, it'd be even worse, because there was no place to go. Back home, he used to pick up dead branches and whack them on trees as hard as he could, breaking them down to kindling. Or he'd grab the axe and work on the wood pile, slamming into chunks of oak, splitting them clean. With that and Roscoe on his side, he could put a cork in it, and when the hissing and fishing started up, just walk away. Unless someone touched him, then it was all over. Not Velveeta, though. He grinned and shook his head. She had knocked him flat so fast he hadn't had time to get mad. She bashed him harder than he'd knocked Joey Nizmansky last November in the boys' bathroom, when Joey hit his head in the sink and got himself a concussion, and Travis got a suspension. All Travis got from Velveeta was a bit of road rash on his hands. No name-calling, no laughing, not even a halfway eye-rolled glance that said he wasn't worth looking at. No, instead there was a sound in her voice when she said she wasn't carrying meth, just laundry, and the nod that came after. Whatever she packed into the words and the nod, it was something Travis had never felt coming his way before. It almost made him look forward to school. He picked up his pace so he wouldn't be late for first period. Velveeta on Monday. I don't get it. I figured Travis and I would be partners for the social studies project. I had this great idea about a really easy skit we could do, but he kept saying no to everything. And then at lunch, he went down from 6 words to 2. I couldn't even get him to crack his famous tiny almost smile. After our Saturday morning sidewalk shootout, I thought we might actually be friends of some kind. But what do I know about friends? Everyone loves Velveeta. Ha ha ha. I'm everyone's entertainment monkey, and they all want me to sit with them at lunch or be in their group. But how often do they invite me to their birthday parties? Remember my 9th party when you got all those goofy stuffed animals from Goodwill and put party hats on them? That was the best birthday of my whole life.